Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Let's Play with me, your host, Tengil. Today we are taking a look at the game that was recently released, Endless Space. I'm hoping you will enjoy this journey with me into the 4X strategy world. I played this game during the beta, and I'm pretty confident that I can play this game competently. But as always, this is the first time I'm actually playing the retail release of the game, so if there have been any changes from the beta, I'm gonna encounter them with you. So let's get ready to start this experience. Now we are going to play on a large map. We are going to do, I think, a disc world, because as you can read the text there, and if at any point you want to read some text, just pause the video, because I'm not going to read it out for you. So if you want to read the text, just pause the video and you can read it. Or maybe, yeah, let's do a spiral with 8 arms. Yeah, that sounds good. I won't, because we're doing a large map, I'll take 5, 6. Let's do 5 players. Now, who do we want to be? That's the question. Let's see here. Let's start with the United Empire. They are a economic and military victory faction. As you can see over here, they have fusion plants, United Empire Infinity gives bonus to tax rate, will give a bonus 10% or 10 ship XP. That's good. This will give you as I said, you can read these at your own leisure, just pausing the video, and you should be fine. The Sophones, they're very strong scientists. They're fast travelers, meticulous analytics. They're pretty much the main victory type scientific. The Hisho, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the Hisho, oh, of course, the Hisho, yeah. Whoops, sorry, wrong button. Hisho. They are deadly weapons, they are snipers, they like revenge, master of destruction, death before dishonor, space cadets, minus 20 research. Okay. The amoeba. They are pretty even. Masters of illusion, mutual understanding, symbiotes, diplomats. Sheridan, economic military main victory type, strong alloys, fearless warriors, and fusion plans, businessmen, entrepreneurs. They are the cravers. Everything else is their food. Nice. Military. Horatio. Population wonder. Cloning. Okay. Sowers. Tolerant builders. Space cadets. Slow travelers. Pilgrims. Pretty good across the board. Diplomats. Optimistic. Legendary heroes. -4 upkeep on heroes. That's good. 20 plus XP on hiring. Okay. Mutual understanding. Alright. Okay. So I wonder if I can create a custom faction. Do you want to do a custom faction? Why not? Let's do it. Let's see what this is about. Let's name them Tengil's Band of Brothers and Sisters. I couldn't see it. Band of Heroes. That sounds good. Affinity. Okay. Do I have to do it? Okay, I have to do one. Alright. What do we want? 25 text in there. Text rate will be that. On locus points. Start with the whole map known. Systems, work, wormholes. And okay, but that's kind of boring because then we won't explore the galaxy. Tax rate will give research bonus. Pilgrims evacuate a star system. Fatigue recovery on hero. Minus 50% food. 4% of research. Okay. Bushido 5+5% weapon damage for each space battle. 1 for 15 turns. 20% fights. What? Fights and all system features. I think fatigue recovery on hero. That sounds good. Okay. Available traits. Defense traits. Can I remove? Yes, I can. Alright. 65 points. Let's see. First off, diplomacy. We need diplomacy. Diplomats. Trade routes bonus on systems. Eternal War. Naive. Symbiosis. Okay. 15% trade routes bonuses per corporation treaty on system. 25% trade routes bonuses on system. Okay. Let's go with that one. And let's go with defense. Let's just go from the top to the bottom. Okay, so deep roots. What does that do? Minus 40% ownership. That actually takes away 3 points if I take this one. Okay. What is this? The Feeble Warriors. Minus 5 defense on system. So I can actually do a negative traits. That's kind of the way it was in the Dungeons and Dragons, or any role-playing game. You can take a negative trait, and you would actually get points that you could spend on different things. So we might look into that later, but for now, just see what else. Fearless Warriors. 5 defense. We have Rebellion. 50% ownership gain per system. Okay, so that means that we can capture planets faster. And it takes enemies longer to capture back. Yes, I'll do that, thank you. Revenge. After losing a system, plus 25% MP movements points, I suppose MP stands for, on all fleets when invading. 25 current defense on all systems. Okay. Stellar Guardians. 2+2 influence area on systems. That's kind of good, actually. Well, let's go through the other ones first. We need technology. Requires isotope fabrication, advanced machining. Okay. Advanced machinings. Once heavier, high-tech materials can be mass produced and blah 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 blah. Isolation shields. Okay. Okay. Isotope fabrication. Alternative armor. Okay. Let's wait with the technology and just look what else we have here. Anomaly, dust load. +3 dust. Huygens ring, +1 dust, +2 research. Metallic water. Happiness and construction. Mineral core, no. We actually get 5 points for that, okay? Mineral rich. Poor soil, rich soil, terraform. Unlucky colonist. Generates a negative anomaly on the home planet. Okay. Hero. Dust death before dishonor. The hero will be injured if you use a retreat battle action. Plus 20% XP bonus for each battle on hero. Increases XP, okay? Increases dust cost. Healing cost. -2 upkeep on heroes, plus hero on hiring. Okay. Micromanagers. That's no good. But that's minus 6 points. That's pretty nice. Okay. You know what? This is taking too long. Let's just now you know that you can create your custom factions, but let's not. Let's just do something, and let's do the United Empire. Why not? But they're evil alignment. Neutral. Expand the population. Sowers, neutral, construction, wonder military. Okay. You know what? Let's just do the United Empire, and let's just see what happens, okay? Let's just see what happens. We are going to do random factions. Single only, private, mobile, public, okay. That's nice. I'll set the difficulty to easy because this is my first game. Normal game speed. The advanced options, you can get a bunch of extra stuff. But I think we're going to keep it like this. I think we'll be messing around with this far too long. Almost 17 and a half minutes, so let's get into the game. Let's see what happens. What you're looking at right now is the game's loading in the background. And yes, I know.
They're not so united, the planets of this united empire. It's more a gaggle of unruly imperial corporations run by insolent dukes. But their armies are strong, their economy is efficient, and their ships are powerful. I fear that they may be the ones who will finally unite or dominate the galaxy. They'll turn it into a shrine to the gods of commerce, a profane church with Emperor Maximilian Zelivas as its high priest.
Alright, now we are getting the tutorial window. Let's keep it up. And again, if you want to read through the text, pause the video. Just gonna click through this and read it. It's pretty self-explanatory. So, this is the game screen. Now, of course, this is the zoomed in screen, and this is the zoomed out. Let's get back to zoom in on where the mouse cursor is. So, if I put it over here, it will zoom in over here. And if I put it over here, it will zoom in over here. When you start the game, you can start with 2 clicks. They are represented by ship icons like this. If see that we have the information panel that will show up over here. These are the two fleets that I have, Beta and Alpha. Alpha fleet, I believe, is a scout class ship, and Beta is a colony ship. You always start with one colony ship and one scout ship, unless it might not do when you start a custom, but if you play one of the default factions, I believe you start with one scout and one colony ship. This is our home planet, or our home star system. In the star system, there are a number of planets. If a planet is blue, it means that you have colonized that planet. If the icon is red, it means that you don't have the technology to colonize the planet. If a planet is white, now we don't have one here, but when we explore, the white planet means that you have the technology, but you haven't colonized the planet. So that's where you want to go and colonize. Now up here is a little bit hard to see. This is the resources that are exist on the planets that is in the system. If it's red, I believe that you have access to it. If it's white, you have not access to it because you haven't colonized one of the planets. Now, to take a closer look at your planets, you click on it and you will get up this interface. Well, behind the tutorial window. But once again, I'm going to click through it, and if you want to read it, just pause the video. Okay, so this is the planet that we have colonized, and this is the icon I was talking about on the other screen. Now, if something that is very important to understand with this game is that if you right click, it will take you straight out of the menu that you're in. So it's a sort of a back button. Just keep that in mind. So don't right click on anything. Do not expect to get a content sensitive menu or anything like that. If you right click, you back out. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so you see here that we have something called Titanium 17. This is a great resource. You should look for this because you need it to build the more advanced ship. So Titanium 17, that's a great resource to have. And if you can, you should get it monopoly on the resources. Monopoly means that you control a majority of the planets in the game that have this resource. And if you do, then you get a bonus. Yeah. As you can see, this one is a mundane artifact. It is gray because we do not control this planet, so we don't have access to this resource. As you can see here, this one is pink, that's the one we have access to. This one is white because we do not have access to it. Okay? Now, this up here is your resources. You have the food, you have industry, science, and of course dust. Now, you might notice that there are some colored triangles in the corners. That's a way for you to keep or to understand what something that you will build will influence. Okay? So for instance, you see here, if we build heavy isotopes, right? It has an orange colored triangle. That means that it is something that will affect our industry. Here, industry to science conversion, it has a blue triangle because it affects our science. That is a very, very clever way of just at a glance knowing exactly what something will affect when you build it. Here is your population and approval, how happy people are. This is if when you hire a hero that to run your system, it will show up here and it will give the system bonuses. So you should really get a hero for your starting system. That should be the first hero you hire, and I'll get into heroes just after this screen. Here are the resources that we have access to in the entire system. Right now we only have one titanium 70. When we colonize this planet, we will also get an icon over here with the mundane artifacts. And also, if there was any luxury goods, they would show up here. This is trade routes. If we have trade routes with someone, meaning from one planet to another, it would show up here, and the income and everything. Now, this is the build menu, and you have a systems tab for constructions on the planets, and you have a ship tab for constructing ships. Now, something you might need to know is that you do not build per planet. This is system-wide construction. So, if you build it, the entire system will be affected by it. So you do not have to go and micromanage. I think this is because we don't have colonized this planet, but I was getting to it later, but we can do the tutorial now for this colonizable. Pause the video again if you want to read the text. So, this is the queue window. This is where everything that you click on will turn up, and it will show you how many turns to construct that. And this window will show you everything that has been built. This is actually a hangar. So this will show any ships that currently are in hangar so that you can launch. And then you have the improvement screen, which means will show everything you build here, will show up here when you built it. And the total upkeep cost of anything that you built will show up here as well. And if something is too expensive, you can always scrap it by clicking on it and then hit scrap. Okay. That's that about this screen. Let's go into our planet screen. This is how it will look when you have colonized the planet. Okay? The type of terrain and the size of the planet. So this is a Terran planet type, and it's a medium-sized planet. There is no anomaly on this planet that anomalies can give and it can take away. So you can have good anomalies and bad anomalies. I hate that word. Anyway, resources. Titanium 70, as we said earlier, is on this planet. This is our population. We have currently filled up 3 slots of our 6. As the population grows, people here will fill up the slots. I'm going to talk about this population after we leave this screen. Moon, there is a moon here, and we need a technology, adaptive colonies, to unlock it and get more resources. Not all planets have moons, so it's something to look out for because it's an extra resource. Okay, so this is what the planet is producing right now. Food, industry, science, and dust. Exploitation. Now, this means that the planet gets specialized. Now, it's not a permanent, you can remove it, but it does take a number of turns to set up. So, for instance, we have 9 food, 9 industry, 15 dust, and 6 science. I think that a good idea for me right now would be to set up some science, because we're going to do a lot of research in the beginning, and research points is a good thing to have. So science, as we said, is blue color. This is blue color, and as you can see, it gives +1 on planet science. But if this planet was a barren planet, I would get an additional research. Now this is a Terran, so I'm only going to get 1 research per person, or blue dude. So if I was on a barren planet, I would get 2 research, but now I'll only get 1. And as you can see, this one you get 1 extra on arid. This one you will get extra on lava planets, and this one you will get an extra on Terran planets. So if I were to choose this exploitation, I will get +2 food. So that would mean 11 food per turn, but we don't need it. We're good with food. 9 is plenty for the beginning of the game. So I'm gonna go with research because it's low. Now as you can see, it costs 4 turns and 40 industry to build it, and it ended up here in the queue for this planet. Now let's leave this screen. As you can see, it's right here in the queue. Now if you were to add this, it's very good. It's a star system improvement. I'll get 10 construction on the star system, which means every single planet will get +10 construction. Also, if I have a desert, Arctic, arid, or tundra planet, I will get +1 per citizen. But it costs me 2 dust every turn because it is a improvement. Now, of course, 10 constructions is great, so we are going to I have to correct myself. The +10 is not per planet, it's in fact on the star system, so I get +10 construction. That's it. So the home system over here would go from 12 to 22. Okay? So let's build that. It will take 10 turns, but it's worth it. It's worth it, trust me. Now, is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. I think we're done here. Let's back out. Okay, so restore civilization. Yes, this one. Let's talk about heroes. You get a notification when a hero turns out up in the game, and it does that periodically. I don't know exactly how many turns. I think you can read it somewhere, but let's check out. Let's go look at heroes, okay? Heroes is over here. And as you can see, just by mousing over it, I get the information that I have 3 heroes for hire. And I will get a new hero in the next 50 turns. So in 50 turns, a new hero will show up. I haven't hired anyone. No one is without a job and no one is injured. Okay? Now, hiring a hero costs 20 dust. As you can see, we only have 10 dust, so we can't exactly we can't hire a hero right now, but we will soon. But here's the tutorial. I just let you read it, and then yeah, then we'll get on with it. And again, if you want to read it, just pause it. Here we go. This is my active hero slot, and this is my heroes for hire. We have no active heroes, but we have 3 that we can hire. Now, as I said, they cost 20 dust to recruit. They will cost you 2 dust each turn to keep. And let's get into what the cards exactly mean. Now, this guy is an administrator and a corporate. So this guy would be great for my planet, and I think that this is the guy that I'm going to hire when I can for my system. Because as you can see, he will give bonuses to that. This guy is a corporate, but he is also an adventurer. He's good for defense on the planet. This guy is an administrator, but he's also a pilot. So this is the guy that would you want to put in your fleet. There's actually another class called Commander, I believe, that is also great to get into your fleets. But we're gonna hire this one for our first hero when we get 20 dust. Okay? Now, we need to look at research. As you can see, just by mousing over it, our knowledge is 8. We're 4th in the entire game. We have no research, and let's change that. And hold on to your horses. This is the research screen. Again, I'll let you read this, and we'll talk again later. Okay, here we are. Again, this is the zoomed out view. As you read in the text, there are 3 levels. This is the highest one, this is the middle one, and this is the closest one. The middle one is easier to work with right now. Okay, so as you read, this is fighting, this is research, this is exploration and movement and colonization, and this is diplomacy. Now, as you remember, we had 2 different planets in our system that we couldn't colonize. So the first thing I like to do when I play the game is to colonize those 2 planets, or the planets that I have, just to maximize the resources that I have available. Okay, so let's take a look at what my planets are. I have an Arctic and a desert planet, okay? Now, as you can see, there's 2 dudes here and 2 dudes here. This is because the planets are tiny. We cannot support more than 2 persons. But what you can do when you colonize one of these planets is that if you get 6 here, you can take 2 of them and move here. Or probably 1, because there will already be 1 here. And then you can take another one and put it over here. And if you have larger planets in your system, you can move more people. And that way you can, even out the number of people on the different planets so that they don't get cramped, because people get pissed off when it's cramped quarters. So that's just something to keep in mind. But okay, so Arctic and desert. Now, of course, this guy has a mundane artifact, so I would say that we go for Arctic research so we can colonize this planet. So let's see if we can zoom in all the way. Okay, so this one colonizes tundra. This one colonizes arid. This one colonizes desert. This one Arctic. And this one gives us a destroyer ship class and better shields. Okay, so left click and drag to move the screen around. Now we want this one, Arctic, correct? Let's see. Yes, Arctic. Okay, research. Now to get to Arctic, we can just take either this one or this one. We don't have to research both. And if we looked here, this was a desert, okay. So that doesn't help us at all. Because the desert was over here, I believe. Yeah, okay. But we want to colonize desert as well, remember? So this one lets us research both of this and this. So this is the first research we're going to take. Now, if I remember correctly, yes, if you shift and left click on a research, you will queue up research. Okay? So now I've just queued up the next 3 researches. Now it's going to take some time, but I think it will be worth it, because that gives them some time to explore and colonize other systems. Hopefully systems with planets that have arid, Arctic, desert, and of course Terran. Okay? So that is where we're going to go next. Let's look at the map. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different planets that we can explore. Each ship has movement points. If you look at this information screen, that you just by mousing over it, you get this information screen. At the far right, you see a blue arrow with 7/7 and 4/4. That is your movement. How far you can move each turn. Okay? And then of course the other guys is the dark silhouette means that there is no hero to either of the fleets. The next one is the health. After that it's the strength, and further to the left is the sensor range of the ship. And at the bottom you can see that the hangar is empty, so it's a good little bit of an information screen. But anyway, let's click on this guy, and I think that our best bet is to go to this planet because it's the closest. Okay, now our scout is the one with 7 moves, so I know this is our guy. And then I'm going to click on this planet with a left click, remember? Or sorry. Is it right click? Okay. For some reason, you right click when you move your ship. Okay, so that's fine. Now what you didn't see there, when I clicked on this planet, there were some small dots along the way, and you will see it more when we get to the longer trips. And what they represent is that the big dots show you how far you will get in one turn, and the small dots just represent travel to the bigger dots. So for instance, if in this case there were smaller dots and then a large dot here just before the planet, so we need 2 turns to get to the planet. Okay, so let's just end our turn and then move our ship to the planet. Click this button to execute all planned moves of your fleet. When you get bigger map, or when you get deeper into the game and you have a lot of fleets, that's real handy because everything can move, and then you can, you don't have to go try to find every single ship or fleet. But for now, I'm just gonna move manually. But before I do that, I'm going to show you something. If you hold your mouse cursor over a planet, let's take this one we're heading to, you get some information about the planets that it probably contains. And as you can see, it's unlikely to have either easily colonized planets or gas giants. So this is a pretty stupid place to go when looking for, planet. If you go over here, you can see that it has dry, hot, and rocky planets are common, and rarely gas giants. This one is colder, drier planets. Easily colonizable planets are rare. There is a slightly better chance of finding gas giants. And this one over here is a red dwarf. Easily colonizable planets are very rare. Less hospitable planets are common. Great chance for gas giants. And over here, red supergiant. It is unlikely to have either easily colonizable planets or gas giants. Okay, so basically, you need to work to colonize the planets in the system. Now, the only one that you might find something is this one. You might find a desert one in this. This one you might find So let's move over here. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to colonize any planet here. Here I might have a chance to colonize a planet, but it's really slim as well. Well, let's move our colony ship in that direction. Okay. Now it can only move 4 each turn, so watch for the dotted lines. Okay. And it only moved so far. If I click on it, you can see the dotted lines. 1, 2, 3. Next turn it will end up here. And then on the 3rd turn, it will get to the planet. Okay? If I click on this one, I can get so close that you can't actually see any lines or any dots. So let's just go there. Okay? Now we've explored this system. Okay? Let's look at what we found. We found a small lava with acid rain, which is not good, and a huge barren with a moon. Shattered crust. It gives plus to construction, but minus to dust. Okay. So this is not completely... well, it doesn't have any food production, so it's pretty crap to sell on any of these systems, okay? So, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our scout and we're going to move it here. It will get there next turn, 1 turn before the colony ship, okay? Now we're getting close to the 53-minute marks in this video. I'm going to end it at 1 hour for the first episode, and then I'm going to try to keep it at about, well, 30 minutes or so. But this is the first episode, so I'm going to give you a little bit extra, okay? Now, we have 2 ships traveling, okay? So let's click on this icon, and they will both move at the same time. There we go. Now, as you can see, we're not going to be able to colonize this planet as well. But what planet is it? Let's find out. It's a lava planet. Aw, that's too bad. That's too bad. Well, let's keep on looking for another one. And we can actually take this one and travel home. I just wanted you to see the simultaneous move, but that was the point, of course. But before we end, I think we're gonna hire a hero for our own system. What do you think? Sounds good? Alright, let's do it. Let's go to the heroes. And let's go to the heroes down here. And now let's select the one I talked about earlier. This one. It will cost 20 to recruit. And we will hire him. Thank you. So this is our guy. And if you want, I can show you this. If you want to know more information about it, just click on the cards and do inspect. Okay? And here is a little bit of an information screen or tutorial screen. Again, pause the video to read it. Okay? This is the hero information. All the heroes have a description. They have attributes that you can improve as they level up. They will get experience points. And here is the effects of the hero. Now, of course, this is not the hero that we hired. But let's take a look at the hero that we hired. Okay? Inspect. As you can see, we get 25 defense on star system. we get 25% defense on star system. We get 50% invasion military power on fleet. But we're not gonna put it on fleet, so. But we do get +6 research, +6 dust, +14% food production, and +14% in production or something. Well, anyway, when this hero level up, and he will level up as he works in your star system, he will get to unlock abilities that will further improve the effects. And we'll see that as it happens later. But now, let's activate him. So, you remember this screen, right? And you remember this one. Now we can change it. Click on him. Assign to system. Boom. And next turn, or this turn, or next turn. I don't know. The improvements will turn up here. So, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And as you can see, it's 2 turns left for the planetary exploitation, and then we're gonna start on the heavy isotopes. And let's see, 57 minutes about. Okay, so we're gonna go through those turns and get that research done, and then we're gonna end it. Okay? We can take our little ship here, and it tells me that I've probably found a colonizable planet. The tutorial window is anticipating my ship moving to that star, and because of it, it's telling me already. So let's move. Well, okay, that was weird. Not sure why I got the colonize window there, but hey, whatever. Let's look at what we have here. We have a large gas hydrogen, we have a medium Arctic, and we have a huge lava. This one have concrete artifacts, which is pretty good. Now, Arctic is one of the research we are doing, so we are going to be able to colonize it eventually as we get the Arctic. It's going to take, let's see, 18 turns approximately, depending. It'll lower as the planet develops and everything, but for now we have to wait a little bit. But that's good, because that means that we can colonize at least 2 planets when this research is done, and then when this is done, we can research the last planet in our system. Okay, but guess what, people? Let's end this turn. Let's finish the construction right here. I'm going to start the new construction, and right here you can see what the system is building. So that's great. I'm going to see you next time. Take care, everyone.